So let's talk about F1 22. Let's talk about round 17. Of the career mode of the F1 2022 season. The Singapore Grand Prix. It's a very difficult circuit. It's a street circuit. When it goes in a straight line, oh boy, it's fast. But there are quite some tricky corners as well. It's the street circuits go in terms of its width. It's a lot closer to Azerbaijan than it is to Monaco. So therefore, it's slightly more forgiving. But it is, I think, still possible to put in a bad turn this evening. I spent a good chunk of this afternoon, around about 50-ish laps, trying to build a rhythm and to get a good car setup. Car setup is an interesting one because this time last week at Monza in Italy, I went for a car setup which wasn't necessarily the best for straight line speed, but helped me an awful lot through turns. So we had this interesting situation where along the back straight, the parabolica, start-finish straight, if a car was within DRS range, I was in trouble. But through specifically sectors 1 and 2, if I could get a good stretch on them and beat them in lower medium speed turns, I would break their toe, and ended up making some good positions out of what could have been an unfortunate situation, which was very enjoyable. Who knows what will happen this week? But I've been trying to goof around with the settings a little bit, and that, to be honest, can be a dangerous pastime. If you start fiddling too much, you sort of lose sense of which changes were working. But I think I've got to something that I'm comfortable with. I don't know how successful it will be in the race. I guess we'll find out. A friendly bunch. We are. You know, we really are. We are, officially speaking, a great community. And I might have, on occasion, appeared to be a little bit grumpy or curmudgeonly, but I'm actually non-threatening. Even if I say so myself. Anyway, what's in the shop? Let's have a look at what's in the item shop, shall we? We got anything goofy? This car, we saw this recently. Also, this crap. Descostang. No counting for taste. I will go for this. This is sort of reminiscent of the Martini liveried Williams, actually, and I've got the pit coin. I'm going to buy it. Will I ever use it in game? No, because the only time that I've been playing F1 is on these streams. So online stuff, forget it. The My Team mode, no chance, son. I've done my time. So let's remind ourselves where things lie, and we'll go to HQ and we'll get some more info on that front. 5th in the driver's standings at the moment, barely ahead of McLaren's Lando Norris there. Only 2 points ahead. My current in-game rival is my teammate Lewis Hamilton, and that's a very tall order to beat him. I don't think I'm going to do it. But I definitely should be focusing on outperforming Lando Norris, so he cannot overtake me in the driver's standings. That has to be the goal. So research and development was something which was quite interesting at the end of last week's stream. We had some success. The rear floor under tray, I think, is something we had to reorder. I don't think with 1,316 there was anything else we could actually order. But a quick refresh here. DRS activation mechanism and brake duct redesign have all been sorted. Crankshaft. Hey, madam. I'm just wondering if there's anything I could order now. A lot of it's quite expensive. Crankshaft's the only one that we could afford now, but. It's not something that will really benefit us within season, I don't think. Yeah, okay, fine. So no cheeky reorders before the weekend begins. Let's get straight into the Pirelli Hot Lap. Drift or autocross? Jeez, that's tricky. I think I'm going to say autocross? And I'll say it in that pitch as well. Autocross! In the Aston Martin DB11 V12. Took them 12 attempts to get that car right, but I'm glad they got there. Let's go. And hit the button twice for some reason. Sure, why not? Meow. Nice day for it. Oh, it's the slalom stuff. Uh-oh. Oh well. Navigate through some carefully placed cones as quickly as possible in this agility challenge. At my age, agile, are you joking? Take care to avoid hitting or missing the cone gates, however, as these will incur time penalties. Oh no! And we have the usual medal-based gifts. 4 gold, 1 minute 20 seconds. There's a massive gap here. There's a half a minute 30-second gap between two. 48 gates in this time. So 1 minute 50 will get me bronze and 250 driver acclaim points. 1 minute 33 silver and 500. If I can walk away with silver, that's great. Gold is going to be tough, I think, for this. However, 1,000 drive reclaim points. Oh, amazing. If I do hit that gold, we'll see about that. Let's give it a shot, shall we? Get this thing over and done with so we can get on with the race weekend proper. Could be a long one today. Could be a long one indeed. Luck away, Ember Swan. Enjoy your Sunday evening. And away we go. The time will start as we cross this first gate. There it is. Plenty of wheel spin. Careful with those cones. And away we go. So... oh, a cheeky wee slalom here. Oi. Before we take the... That's going to be a cone. Bonk. 5-second penalty. Oh, that's tricky. That's another 5 seconds. Got offline. How dare you. So I guess the finish line will be... Ah, that's 15 seconds. And 20. Oi. So we're past gold time anyway here. Oh boy. But I think we're on for silver. Nice shot of the back of my helmet-covered head. What was it in the end? Whoa. That's with the penalties. That's with the penalties. If I didn't hit any flip-in gates, that would have been a gold. I'm doing it again. But better. Let's go. Second and final attempt, I reckon. And away we go! Wacky races. Come on. I can afford to be a little more cautious, actually. I mean, not slow, but caution would be good. Through here. Ah, okay, 5 seconds. Let's make that our only mistake. Can we do it? Maybe too slow here now. Come on. Ah, it's going to be 10 seconds. It's going to be 10 seconds. We've really got a race now. Oh, I don't think we're going to get it. Can we get it? Whoa! Holy cow. Again, if not for those mistakes, it would have been an easy gold. But by the skin of my teeth. By a 1/10 of a second, it's gold, and that's enough. Take that to the bank. Back to Team HQ then, where I've flown all the way to Singapore, right? Then I've flown all the way back to Team HQ, no doubt in Surrey, to then fly back to Singapore. Explain that. Here's our race weekend then. We've seen a bit of the Singapore circuit there. You're going to see a lot more soon enough. So let's get moving. Bum, 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 bum. Ba, 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 ba. Ah. Practice 1 and Practice 3 appear to be a bit wet. That's going to frustrate things a bit, I think. Let's take a look at those messages. There's Francisco. With the usual stuff. Also, R and D updates. All of our aerodynamics work was a success. However, chassis failed, and that is being redone. And hopefully we'll be ready in 2 race weekends' time. I don't think it's ready in time for the Japanese Grand Prix. However, not everything passed quality control. Steve Lewis will need you to confirm the redevelopment on your R&D screens. Bleep bloop, we've done that. Weather forecast. Mercifully, qualifying and the race will be dry. But we have seen, have we not, that Practice 1 and Practice 3 are going to be wet. How wet? And for how long? We'll have to find out once we're in there, but that could really throw some problems our way when it comes to finding the right kind of setup for this circuit. Three races remaining in the rivalry with my teammate, and we are level. And then the story of the car bits. We've had to do some management of this. We introduced a gearbox at the last weekend, so gearbox 5 will be there for our race. I'm going to fit on gearbox 4 to get us through a decent amount of practice. Control electronics 2 is now fitted. Component 1, 52% lifespan. It's done very well. Turbocharger. Uh-oh. 65%. It's one that we may have to think about swapping out. For a 4th with a grid penalty. Probably not this weekend, though. So we'll hope that that hangs on. At 344 laps and only 65% wear, you can see that this is a much more reliable component than Turbocharger 1, which is at 85% wear with only 50 more laps under its belt. So this should see us through this weekend okay. Energy store number 2. All well and good. We'll keep that going. And then our MGUH is a component that we introduced not that long ago. 11% wear versus 52. I'm going to put component 3 on for practice. Hello there, Gilly fam. MGUK at 4%. And again, I think for performance concerns, I wouldn't want to run 67% wear MGUK while other older parts are also running. Create some more unreliable package But ICE3 should be fine to run in practice as well. I think amongst all of that, we've still got a good enough powertrain to see us through at least one, if not two, practice sessions. Oh, it's a lovely cup of tea, that. There we go, yeah. 167 points, 2 clear of Lando, some gap to Carlos Sainz, with my teammate even further down the road. So, doing better than Lando Norris is really going to be my project, I think, this weekend, staying ahead of him. That's got to be the focus. Yeah, so it's going to be a tricky bunch of practice sessions, trying to get a good feel for the track, get a good setup for the car, for qualifying and race, yet somehow tick the boxes for our practice programs in less than stellar conditions. What do we got? Race strategy, qualifying pace, and track acclimatization. It's a classic mix there. I'm quite happy with that. Let's go to track then and get practice 1 underway.
Bunker, 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 bunker.
And with all the cars now over the line, let's see our top 3 again. Norris, Gipp and Daniel Ricciardo. Sadly, it's time to say goodbye as free practice is over. However, we'll be back shortly for more Formula One action.
Okay. So the first 15 minutes, full wet tyres. The next 15 minutes or so, intermediates. The last half an hour, dry tyre conditions. And track acclimatization was okay in the end. I got a free run on intermediate tyres, but did it again on soft tyres. And then had a crack at the race strategy practice program. Now, second fastest in that session makes you think, oh, maybe this is going to be a good weekend. But out of the 5 laps available in race strategy program, only one of them was an improvement on the delta time. The other 4 were significantly slower. And I'm not sure whether I need to tweak the car setup or tweak the driver setup. A bit of a mystery. Still, in that session, only one car faster than me, and a couple of tenths between me and the third fastest, Daniel Ricciardo. It's interesting to see McLaren doing so well here. My teammate, Lewis Hamilton, 6th fastest in that session. Max running around on hard tyres, which is interesting. Wonder if that's a sneaky little experimentation over an alternate strategy come the race. We shall see. But a very unrepresentative, I think, really, for the Ferrari and the Red Bull of Leclerc and Verstappen. Some way off the pace. But an interesting start. I think practice 2 will be the session because we know that that's going to be dry throughout, and we really do need to make the most of that. 52. 55. 50. 68. 0. And 72. That gearbox is going to start to give us some trouble, I think. I'll keep it for this session, then I'll swap it out for practice 3. Turbocharger. May give us an issue in the race when it comes to ERS. Both MGUs will be okay. But that may well reduce the amount of available energy in this race. Should be durable. It should see us through. Get the feeling though that we'll be taking another grid penalty in the next race or two. I don't know whether it's going to be this race. If I knew I could, if I knew I had it, right, if I knew I had it, had this track sussed out, that I could make some positions back, maybe I'd do it, but I don't think so. And then we've got Suzuka coming up after this, which is another fun but tricky circuit to do. But that may end up being where I have to bite the bullet. I think Gearbox will see us maybe through some more practice sessions. But I think I'm going to shift over to Gearbox 2, given that the conditions are going to be much, much better. So then it's just the turbocharger we're having to think about. Come practice 3, swapping over the ICE and the MGUH. A lot to consider in practice 2. Still unsure about aero. But as I said at the beginning of the session, the more I tweak without really understanding what I'm doing, the more I'm likely to kind of get further and further away from an ideal setup and not being able to understand what I did to get away from it in order to find my way back. Practice 2 then. Track acclimatization, we got the boosts, we didn't quite get the purple. Race strategy, we were too slow, so we definitely need to do that again. And we'll see what happens about qualifying pace. Maybe I can squeeze one in practice 2, just in case we don't get the opportunity in practice 3. Yeah. Ooh, a free lurger.
The session has drawn to a close, so let's review our top 3. Norris, Leclerc and Skip. What an incredible practice session. The fun doesn't stop here though. Join us.
Fun!
as the rest of the weekend unfolds.
Peak enjoyment. Thrilling. The timing sheets there tell a different story to how Practice 2 actually turned out. Only soft tyres available, and on this circuit, boy. Soft tyres at Singapore is like buying a car brand new, or an engagement ring brand new. As soon as you get it off the forecourt, it drops in value horrifically. As soon as you put on the soft tyres, you might as well kiss them goodbye. They're good for 2 laps, I reckon. You can lean on them nicely for 2 laps, and then after that you're on borrowed time. Which is all well and good if what you want to do is get out there and set your fastest possible lap and come straight back in. When you're trying to run race strategy practice over 5 laps, plus an out lap and an in lap, yeah. You've kind of eaten through those tyres. So, 3rd fastest in this session, however, when attempting both the qualifying pace practice program and the race strategy practice program, I was not fast enough for the team's liking. Fast in this session, not to standard apparently. The bar has been set very high. You'll notice though, I am 8/10 faster. 8/10 faster than Lewis Hamilton. Equal machinery, equal tyres. Whether that translates into the race, we don't really know what the race is going to be like. Whether this kind of pace will bear out in race conditions and it's not too bad, or the team's predictions come true and I'm pootling around like a flipping milk truck. And practice 3 is going to be flipping raining. I might be out of chances here. I might be out of luck in terms of practice. We won't know how bad the weather is until we're in practice 3. Let's just hurry up and get there then. Goodness me. Okay, so fresh ICE, fresh MGUH. Turbocharger. I'm running out of time to decide whether I fit this now or save it until next time. It's a lot healthier compared to its predecessors and should see us through this weekend. We'll see. It may deliver complications in the race, but I don't think it'll be too major, and then we can maybe think about what we do. I have until I have until the end of practice 3 to decide. Once practice 3 is over, the car is considered to be in parc fermé conditions. You cannot change the setup anymore after that. It is locked in, effectively, baked in, after that point, for qualifying in the race. Let's see what we can do with practice 3. If it's a washout throughout, well, might end up tossing a coin for it. Oh, I don't want to look at that anymore. Get out of here.
It's time to remind ourselves of our top 3, who are Hamilton, Skip and Lando Norris. And if today's practice session is anything to go by, we're in for an exceptional weekend of Formula One.
A triple bill of Brits. Top your timing sheets in practice 3. I had very little soft rubber, fresh soft rubber left, so there was only time for one qualifying pace practice program. That got me a 1:41.3, which for most of that session was the fastest lap. Then my teammate, before the conditions changed, managed to squeeze in there with a 1:40.927, 4 tenths ahead. I'll accept that. Lando Norris, the guy who I must beat this weekend to stay ahead of him in the standings. 2 tenths, well, 1.5 tenths actually, looking at that, slower. What's been interesting is in each of these practice sessions, I've been near the top of the timing sheets, yet in the practice programs, I'm disappointing the team. So I've not been able to get the resource points in the same kind of quantity that I normally do, which is kind of disappointing. And it's left me in a position kind of scratching my head thinking, well, what's right? What's right here? Is it that I'm doing okay, actually? Or by not hitting the bars set by the team, is it saying that actually, come race day, it's going to get really bad? I don't know. So I'm at the end of these practice sessions with the ability to take the car around a lap without overdriving it and feeling okay about it, but then trying to reach the bar that this team is setting and binning the car a lot of the time. Do I drive to my comfort level? And that be enough? Or will it actually be too slow and I will lose positions in the race? I find myself at a confusing point. And maybe this is what the AI level of 63 is doing to us. Creating challenge and confusion. Let's get to qualifying. Roundly trounced by my teammate on resource points. Some lovely wee discounts. Will it help? Not much in the way of driver acclaim there. Okay then. Time for qualifying. Really looking forward to going for a wee soon. It's about time. My manager says stuff. And here's Mark. I have to admit, I was skeptical about this layout when it was first announced a long time ago now. But it's really grown on me over the years, especially now that sling chicane is gone. As an engineer, that was the cause of more than a few headaches. Anyway, it's a street circuit, so walls equal bad. Take special care across the bridge and under the grandstand. Those 2 points are both very narrow, and these cars are very wide. I know, I've seen. %72% the turbocharger, 382 laps done now. Much more robust component now. And one that I will keep on the car for the rest of this weekend. And we'll just have to see what happens, won't we? I think it'll be healthy enough to see me through the race without too many complications. It may well be something to then look at again when we're in Japan next week. So the car setup is in place. The engine components are decided. It is now all about what we can do on track. One-shot qualifying and a 31-lap race to come up. Let's get ourselves set up for quali. Don't patronize me, dude. You'll be pleased to know I'll be qualifying on a soft tyre. Going as fast as I possibly can. Right. Wake up! Wake up, everyone. It's time to gamble. Place your bets. Where will I qualify in the Singapore Grand Prix? You have 2 minutes. Pole position. Anywhere else in the top 6, 2 to 6. Anywhere else in the top 10, 7 to 10. Or the bottom half. A bit further back, 11 to 20. The timing sheets from those practice sessions have put me higher up. Qualifying practice program, the team said I'd be last. Who do we believe? Just over 1 minute. to lay down your engagements on where you think I will qualify. Now, this is one-shot qualifying, and the idea is I set the fastest lap I possibly can. If a mistake happens, I will not use a flashback. I will restart the entire lap. So the idea is that I do one full lap uninterrupted for as many attempts as it requires. Half a minute left. So get them engagements at the ready. So far, we only have one gambler. 5, it's a magic number, is a giant faith haver. Someone else is in. Gilly Fam is in. He's dashed back from his coffee maker and put some engagements down on positions 2 through 6. 2 gamblers in the end. Thank you very much. Can only hope he washed his hands. This may take more than one attempt. We'll see, won't we? Look at that. You can get up to 19 laps. Seems hard to believe. Let's go to track. Let's really flippin' go for it. And I hope to God I get it done in one go. Here we go. All right, here we go. See the ghost ahead of us. That'd be great. To not have it be too far ahead. This is not a good lap so far. Crunch. Poo. Don't want to curse it. Don't want to curse it. This is where I'll lose time. Shame. Parts of that lap were good. Oh, so stressful. Do not cut this corner. Okay, but don't take it that deep either. I think this might stick. I can't lose grip now. Coming through this last turn. Here we go, here we go, here we go. What's it gonna be?
Okay, good job, mate. Really well done.
What?
Fantastic drive.
What?
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who will be fronting the grid. Skip, Sainz, and Lewis Hamilton. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
Okay, so it wasn't quite the first attempt. 141.3 was it in practice 3? And the team said, "That's gonna put you 20th." Where's the 141.3? Between 15th and 16th. Turns out it was a 139.720. That is, you get your engine mode, you get your energy deployment mode, you get the fresh tires. All of this stuff is very specifically set to qualifying. You don't really get that in practice sessions. So there's always a little improvement. But even still, if everybody was a little bit quicker, and that 141.3 that I set was a little bit quicker, it still would have been slow. I don't understand how the team have worked this, but a 139.720 is a pole lap. I'm surprised, but pleased. No pressure in the race, I guess, but very, very close. Less than 1/10 of a second. Carlos Sainz, second place. Less than 2/10 of a second. My teammate, Lewis Hamilton, third place. Lando Norris, the guy I definitely need to be beating this weekend, fifth. On the same side of the grid as me, 2 cars behind. The battle for the top of the standings is between Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen. They are 4th and 6th. Will they be caught in a bitter battle amongst themselves, and will they stay away from the podium? .2 seconds covers the top 10. Mick Schumacher and Kevin Magnussen in the Haas both did very well. Very well. In fact, very close to each other's times there as well. Okay. Well, it ended up being a pole position. So let's pay out. And our winner. Put down 1,000, receives 1,500. 5 is a magic number. Now do be careful with the 500 engagements that you won from Gilly Fam. He did just come from the toilet and may have been in a rush. But that there is your qualifying. Let's get back to the workstation and get ourselves on the pre-race build. Well, that's my teammate beaten in qualifying. Race day. Is the grid too wide? It has a left and a right hand side. So each row has 2 cars. So yes. 31 lap race to come. In the messages, this from our engineer Mark. Good luck today. We've been flat out all weekend to make sure the car is in the best condition. Keep a cool head, pay attention to the space around you, and the weather is cloudy. And it's also nighttime, and it's also dry. Not much else to say, really. Pole position, pre-race build coming up. We'll look at the strategy and get the gamble on. And then I can go for a wee. Oh, thank goodness. I'm holding on. I'm holding on at the moment. So I need to really just push on through this.
Against the spectacular backdrop of the Singapore skyline, Formula One returns once again to do battle in what tends to become something of an endurance race, with the notorious sauna-like temperatures in the cockpit, making for an extremely physically challenging race. The Marina Bay Street Circuit then has 23 corners, 13 to the left and 10 to the right, taking us a total of 3.1 miles around the landmarks of downtown Singapore. An average lap speed around here just 107 miles per hour. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Skip lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Sergio Perez, and Fernando Alonso.
Someone has taken a grid penalty.
Mick Schumacher, Sainz,
Several cars have,
Gasly,
actually, I think.
and Lando Norris.
There's Norris. He's
Vettel,
dropped back.
Ocon,
And Ocon.
Stroll, and
Ricciardo.
They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty.
3 in the top 10 have dropped back.
Bottas, Guan Yu Zhou, they've taken a grid penalty. And
Look at them.
Alex Albon,
They're all changing
Latifi,
components in this
and
race.
Yuki Tsunoda. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. With me today, of course, is Natalie Pinkham.
Of
So let's have a
course.
chat about Nicholas Latifi. There's a new gearbox in the back of that car, which means a grid penalty and hopefully some excitement as they make their way through the field.
Fat chance.
Crossed, that's one failure they won't have to worry about today at least. There's not much of a silver lining to starting down the field with a penalty, but I think they'll be able to make some of that back up over the course of the race.
Hey, that's me. Yeah. So when it comes to getting all het up about staying ahead of Lando Norris and scoring more points than him, he's taken I think a 5-place penalty for changing a component. Considering I am on pole position and was sort of tempted whether I too should be changing a component for this race. I'm kind of glad I didn't. But you'll see that there were several drivers. I don't know, like 7, 8. There were a lot of them who had opted to change components and take grid penalties, which means they won't be doing that in races to come, and I will. Be interesting to see how that works out. Right, let's have a look at the race strategy. Okay, so starting on the mediums and finishing on the hards is the default. An alternate strategy is bonkers, suggesting that starting and finishing on the mediums with a burst on the soft in the middle would be a way to go. Now, that's 1.4 seconds. 1.4 seconds different between the two of them. But it is a pretty big gamble for sure. Now I think with the personalized result here on the strategy, we're not going to see much of a change at all because it wasn't a particularly successful practice program. Marginally quicker, marginally kinder on the tyres. So the two strategies are medium and hard or medium, soft, medium. Now, again, we've done this before. There are going to be plenty of cars around me at the front of the grid who will be playing the conservative option and going for that one-stop strategy. I don't see any difference. So I'm not thinking it, I'm not overthinking it, I'm not complicating it. I'm just going to look at the lessons learned from the past and say it's the default strategy all the way. Keep it simple, stupid. That's locked in. Let's get the race gamble, and then I'll be taking a very well needed break. So, at Singapore, where will I finish? Let's think about this. Starting first, I'm not confident there's a race win on the cards here. Yep, that'll do. Okay. 5 minutes for your race prediction. They start now. Where will I finish? Can I get a top 3? Can I hit the podium at the end of this race? Is that a possibility? Or if not that, the rest of the top 6, positions 4 to 6. Or somewhere in the points, positions 7 to 10. Or the back half, 11 to 20. I will leave that with you. I'll be taking that pre-race P when I get back. 31 laps of the Singapore Grand Prix. About 45 minutes, I think, all in. Maybe a little bit longer, depending how chaotic it gets. I trust you will sort yourself out with refreshments. Go to the loo yourself, but don't forget to place your bets. You've got 4 minutes left on that. And I'll be back in a few minutes. And we'll get this race underway. Much better, thanks. Now I can hydrate Gilly fam. He was being cruel deliberately. Ha, man needs to wee. I'll make him think about water. That'll get him. Busted. So let's have a look at the outcome on the betting here. 3 gamblers. 58% of the wager has gone on a podium finish. And 42% on positions 4 to 6. I can only hope that I finish somewhere between positions 1 and 6. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit embarrassing later. Fingers crossed we have a good one. Tyre wear could get us here. Could get us. Luckily, we are on medium and hard compound tyres. They will last longer than the softs. It's still a long run, though, on those mediums. Until we actually get to change them over in the pits. I'll have to see how that goes. Right. Get myself in driving position here. Stick it on that mode. As always, I will look at chat when I can. Driving is difficult. So if you've said something, I promise that I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying not to crash. And as and when it is safe, I shall see what you're all saying and try and participate and all that. We have a... he was looking straight at me then. I saw it. He's looking... Look. Oh, he's pretending not to now. Now that I'm looking directly at you... there it is, side-eye. Yeah, flipping side-eye. Yes. That's what I thought. Anyway, while everybody is hiding their faces over there and waving their arms around, we've got a formation lap and 31 laps of racing to do. Our strategy is in place. This microphone is in place. All that's left is the argy-bargy.
Okay, how was that pull away? You'll have a bit more grip than that on the start, but we need to warm the tyres properly now. Make sure you get some heat into the brakes as well.
Right, are we done? Can I have my position back, please? Oh, jeez. Just because I couldn't pull away properly. Right, should we do that again? Race strategy, personalised, all baked. It's baked in! Let's go. Flip it there.
Okay, so everything looks good on the power unit cycles, so let's concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature.
They'll stay behind me. That was so rude.
No rain expected, no rain expected for the
Hooray! So the right-hand tyres are up to temperature, just the left ones to match. We're getting there. Of course, I've got the awkward parking coming up. That'll be fun.
decent parking. Let's try and get a good launch as the lights go out.
Green.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid is formed. Be ready with the clutch.
Second time I've ever got that properly done. Well, Leclerc is on the hard tyres, Verstappen on the soft, Perez on the medium. It's an interesting situation behind us. Mixed strategies. Clean getaway, not too much wheel spin. It's a good start, but the inside is busy. Some bumping. Collision with Hamilton. He's battling with Verstappen. Let him have it. Let them sort that out amongst themselves. Looks like Verstappen must have got a good launch. He is in second. Those soft tyres coming into play. You can see what his game is. He wants to make positions very quickly indeed. I would like to make life difficult for him, but I feel like he's going to have my number sooner rather than later. And he would like to collide with me. Look at that. Look at that. He took the inside there big time. Really good drive out. Fair play to him. Crunch. I'll blame that on him. He will have to pit before the rest of us. But he's probably going to get me. And boy, can he.
Okay, we've lost a position. That's us down a place.
He'll run away with this. Now it's my job to try and stay with him. To pick up DRS when I can. Bomp. He's got so much drive out of that turn, though. Staying close to him is the deal. Full race update.
Okay, you sat in P2. Verstappen's ahead of you. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh softs. That's Lewis behind you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh mediums.
Lewis is closing the gap.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
I don't think I'll get it. I do get it. That'll help protect me against Lewis. Verstappen won't have it, as he's in the lead. I need to stay close to him during the twisty-turny bits. And we get it again, as Hamilton will on me. Alonso doing a great job there. He's in fourth. Way off the racing line there. And Hamilton now has DRS on me. And I'm losing out to Verstappen big time. Lewis is probably going to overtake me, because I won't have an answer to his DRS pace. The most I can do is hold the inside and close them off. Max Verstappen now 1.9 ahead.
Some information on Perez. That looked bad. Are you all right? Let
Whoops.
me know you're okay.
I'm fine. How are you? Okay, we'll do that again, shall we?
Some information on Perez. They've got an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
Okay, so not really closing in on Max. That's going to be difficult, but Lewis is a little further back than he was before. Car feels good. Slowly creating a gap to Hamilton. We will start to see a change in Verstappen's pace. Driver in front.
It's Verstappen ahead. Okay, gap to the car ahead is... Wow, that was a heck of an impact. Let me know you're okay.
That's two. It was a difficult part of the circuit to try and get that information. I might wait. Driver in front.
Verstappen's ahead of you, and gap to the car in front is 1.5 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, we think they've got two stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. Time last lap was a 1 minute 44.7.
So are they doing soft, medium, medium? Are they going to do something really batty, like soft, medium, soft? A little too much out of that curb. Very slow through there. That's allowed Lewis to catch up. Launch. Lewis will get DRS. I don't get it from Max. boy, this is tense stuff. I'm getting closer. 1 second. Driver in front.
It's Verstappen ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 1.0 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 6 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. Your last lap time was a 1:45.1. This is great stuff. We're gaining by 0.3 a lap. Good work.
He's losing grip. Very deep though, I lost some time. Crunch. Is he coming into the pits? He's coming into the pits. I should get DRS. So that helps increase. It doesn't actually increase because I was just trying to offset Lewis Hamilton's DRS. He's very close to me now. So, back in the lead of the race. Lewis Hamilton half a second behind and he will have DRS. This is going to be tricky because he's close enough to close the gap. Baby. Right, this is where Lewis is going to get me. Now he's got DRS. Why wasn't that a drag race? Is there something about our aero setups that are different? Lap 8, coming up to lap 9. Holding them off again. There's that DRS zone by the bridge. Whoops. Right, where can I pick this up? This is an awkward spot to do a flashback. It's got to be at that point there. A bit clumsy. He's backing off. Driver behind.
Alonso behind you now. Our gap behind is 1.8 seconds.
Did Lewis get
They're on
damage?
old mediums. We think they've got one more stop. And the time last lap was a 1 minute 45.3.
That's embarrassing.
Lewis is in the pits now.
Teammate status.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 6.8 seconds. They're on fresh softs.
Interesting strategy.
Okay, the gap behind is 2.1 seconds.
This is giving me rival status.
They're in 19th place. The difference is 6.8 seconds. They're on old mediums. We think they've got one more stop.
Oh. My rival and my teammate are the same person. So, Alonso is behind, then Leclerc, Sainz and Norris. Norris I need to stay ahead of at all costs. Hello there. Alonso is catching. And I did a very bad job of that whole section. And away we go. Lol. Tyre status.
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Lap 14, wasn't it? We were set to stop. Charles Leclerc on the hards will be out longer than the other cars that you see on the left-hand side there.
All right, we're seeing a loss of power.
There we are.
Turbocharger now. Loss of power on the turbo.
So we finally hit the point where the turbocharger is causing us issues. We're hoping that it'll be able to see us through the rest of this race. Let's see. That was very slow through there.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
That's it. I'll send it presents on its birthday. Starting to feel more vibration from the controller as these tyres start to age.
We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time.
Alonso 1.6 behind. Driver behind.
That's Alonso behind, and the gap behind us is 1.5 seconds.
Ooh.
They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 11 laps old now. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1:45.7.
increase the gap, 2.1 seconds. Whoop, steady. You can hang on to these.
I've got information on Albon for you. Right, they've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring.
Are they coming into the pits or are they retiring on track? Because that could be a safety car.
Gap to your teammate behind is 33.2 seconds.
And to be kinder to these tyres now. Sainz is in the pits. Alonso 2.4 seconds behind. And the gap looks to be increasing. Struggling for grip around this part of the circuit, and here is where Albon has retired.
Okay, clear.
That car will get recovered no problem, so no safety car needed. Turbocharger now at 76%.
Okay, we're boxing this lap. Give us the best in lap you can.
I don't think there's much advantage to be gained by staying out. So I think I'll follow the team on this one. And come in. Done pretty well on the medium tyres. The hards will take a lap or two to warm up. Hopefully no problems.
That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting.
And Alonso's in. Norris has stayed out. Charles Leclerc now leads.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Who's coming round? We've got Vettel. DRS on him, usefully. Mick Schumacher, whoops-a-daisy, in the Haas is doing a good job making those tyres work for him. He's clearly running longer on them. Hey, let's just not do that. So let's get through this. This was a slow turn, and I'll pick it up here. It's going to get spicy with Alonso. Got a bit messy here. Tyres are okay though, so it's just the nut holding the wheel that is the problem on this lap. Need to get my head back into it. As Mick and Seb are in the pits.
Our gap to the car in front is 15.2 seconds.
Okay, so hard tyres to the end of the race. Second place. Leclerc will have a stop that he has to take. Driver in front.
Leclerc ahead. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 24.6 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Okay, they've done 15 laps on those tyres. We think they've got one more stop. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 45.7.
And I need to push forward because he's got he has close to a pit stop worth of time. Aramco. Right. Very conscious about what Alonso behind is doing as well, because he looks to be closing the gap, and I've had a bad lap, to be fair. Crunch, stop crunching. Leclerc still stays out. That gap not changing much at all. Looks like Alonso could be distracted by Carlos Sainz on the soft tyres and looking to defend that position. So I'm kind of hoping, to be honest, that they battle each other for a little bit and drop back. Charles Leclerc still about 24 seconds ahead.
Leclerc is stopping now.
Here we go. Gotta have a good run through these next few turns. And it'll be tight. He's on this way out the pits already. Lewis is pitting again.
Okay, Lewis is in for his stop.
Charles Leclerc from first to fourth place. Alonso still the stalking horse here. He's done the one stopper from medium to hard. He's the guy I'm fighting. Unless Sainz can get past him. But Carlos cannot be on softs till the end of the race. That was a good run out of that turn, actually. If only I could do that every single time. Oh, there's someone new in chat. Hello there. Hope you're still there. Sorry I missed you. Terrible sequence. Full race update.
You're in first position, front of the pack. Alonso behind you now. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 1.4 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. 13 laps to go.
Long way. To be increasing that gap. Sainz seems to have missed the opportunity there to pass Alonso. That gap is increasing between Alonso and Sainz in second and third place.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 31.9 seconds.
I can only think that Lewis must have suffered wing damage when he was trying to overtake me. I was too vicious trying to cut him off. Alonso dropping back quite a bit now. Driver behind.
That's Alonso behind. Our gap behind is 2.1 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Their tyres are 5 laps old, and the time last lap was a 1:45.0.
Sainz has gone in to change his tyres. He's dropped off that top 5. Norris in fourth. I'm a million miles behind, to be honest. Can't make too many mistakes like that. That's costly. See, that's really helped the cars behind close the gap. Charles Leclerc now in third place on the mediums. I'm not having that. Here we go. Let's freaking push this. Teammate status.
Gap to your teammate behind is 32.0 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're in 9th place. Time last lap was 1 minute 44.8.
Leclerc has overtaken Alonso. Leclerc's on the medium tyres. Could be making those run to the end of the race, actually, which might be a matter of concern for me if I can't hold on to these hard tyres for the rest of the race. To be honest, I'm struggling. Leclerc's going to have DRS here. He has caught up. He has caught up. La 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 la. Let's get through here. Noob. Okay. Oh. He made that look very easy.
Try to stay with them. They might make a mistake and we could...
I might make a mistake, more like. For the second time. Thing is I don't want Alonso to catch up. Jesus, the pace on him. No DRS. No beep. No supermarket sweep. 1.3 seconds ahead already on medium tyres. Good lord. These hard tyres are difficult to drive on. Fastest lap, Charles Leclerc. Fastest lap, baby. Yeah, 1.8 seconds. He's got this race win in the bag. He's going to tear off and we will not see him again. Driver behind.
Alonso behind you now. Okay, the gap behind is 1.8 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Their tyres are 8 laps old. Your last lap time was a 1:45.2.
.7 seconds now to Charles Leclerc. This race is his. Can't do that too often. I'm gonna get told off by the stewards. I've lost some serious grip. Ah, I have front wing damage. That'll explain it. It's very slight, but it will affect performance. And if I have it and other cars don't, that can be enough. Lap 24 of 31. Holding on to second place here, but by no means is this in the bag. I really do worry about Alonso's pace, the grip I have. He's closing, and that was an awful run of corners.
The car behind is lapping faster than us by around a second a lap.
How do you have an answer for that? You don't. And then it's Norris. Oh, I cannot. Right, I have to think very carefully about how I do my right turns now. Alonso will pick up DRS. 7/10. Tenths. Oh boy. He's going to be keeping me busy. Charles Leclerc now 7.7 seconds up the road. Getting good traction pulling out of there, which may be helping me a little bit, but he's sticking with me. Tyre status.
No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving.
Boy, is there some focusing on the driving happening right now. 5/10, 6/10. Wow, I managed to make 3/10 on him there, that was lucky. Just maintaining that gap. Charles Leclerc now 9 seconds ahead. Thank you, 5. Ooh, I'm being kept busy. Whoops. Where did that bump happen? There. Okay, so on exit, I'm okay. So let's pick it up there. Slowly making a gap to Alonso. 1.1 seconds there a moment ago. Launch. Driver behind.
That's Alonso behind, and the gap behind us is 1.1 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Their tyres are 13 laps old, and the time last lap was a 1 minute 44.9. Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining, 5 laps of fuel left.
Oof. Hold on tight.
Okay, be aware, the grip levels are going to start falling away soon.
What, like that? It's getting sweaty. I need to stay away from those walls. So a lot closer now.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 23.7 seconds.
Time to get the elbows out.
Okay, we've got 4 laps of fuel remaining.
Plenty of fuel. Can push if I need it, but the grip isn't necessarily there to assist. Nice run out of there. If I'm struggling with grip, so are the 2 cars behind me. They won't like it, but they'll have to go along with it as much as me. Alonso has dropped back 1.4 seconds. Charles Leclerc 11 seconds ahead. Incredible. Be very interested to see whether he was on a 1 or a 2 stop strategy. There goes those flipping tires, man. All right, here we go. Oh boy, we're almost done. Losing a lot of time around that grandstand.
Okay, this is your final lap. Final lap of the race.
Finally we get there. A tussle with the teammate in the opening laps. I think I might have
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
cost Lewis a podium by a clash that we had when defending. Led quite a bit of this race as many drivers had alternate strategies at play. But a lot of this race has been defined by holding position. No real opportunities to overtake in this one. More about making sure no one gets me. And while it wasn't possible to hold back Max Verstappen in the early stages of this race, who quite frankly was on a completely different tyre and was always destined to steal my lunch money, it's actually been about holding Alonso behind. And he's got close, as he's getting close now, but it's been enough to maintain a gap and not have him overtake. Gratefully, Lando Norris is also behind, so I will be able to take more points away from Lando Norris and maintain my position in the driver's standings. That is 31 laps, and that is second place.
Well done, good finish. You stepped up and achieved what we asked. Good job.
It's never easy to make it across the finish line here in Singapore, but they've done so with some style here today to take a remarkable victory. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out of the track was: speed. It sounds like an awfully reductive statement, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today and a stunning win for Ferrari. So let's have a look then at the drivers' standings. Charles Leclerc, currently leading the championship standings, extends his lead even further with this result. Let's focus on driver of the day, Natalie Pinkham. Come on.
Come on.
Often, my go-to would be a driver who's managed to pull off an especially impressive feat during the race. However, in this instance, I was more impressed by Max Verstappen's solid, clean driving throughout the event.
4th to
Time
7th.
to check out the constructors' standings. Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who's joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
I'm tired. 54 minutes, 41 seconds of racing. If you don't count all of the flashbacks. And the 2 points early on in that race were basically my goose was cooked. And in any other circumstance, it would have been a DNF. I'm very interested to see the strategies that some of those other drivers were running, because they were doing something different. And I've said several times, oh, try something different, blah 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 blah, and it tends not to work out. I did the conservative option today. It may not have been daring, it may not have done whatever happened to Charles Leclerc or something like that, but it helped me keep my nose clean. To only lose one position, to start first and finish second. Yep. I'll take that. I'll take that, no problem. Shanzi, welcome on in. I am playing the role of George Russell in this season. I actually stole his seat. And you join me right at the end as we're poring over the details. I'm very interested to examine this in more detail. But first, let's take a look at those juicy highlights. It wasn't a bad start. I've struggled with race starts a lot in this game. That was one of my better ones. A relatively clean pull away. Let's check it out. From first on the grid, Lewis alongside. Pretty good starts. A lot of crunching and bumping, and I think Lewis might have cut that corner on turn one. He had nowhere else to go. Here we go. Too deep here. Max Verstappen, soft tyres. A drag race between us. Blocked him off on that attempt, but it's only a matter of time before he finds and passes. In fact, it's already happened at this point. So we make our way to the flipping bridge. The bane of my life. Second place at this point. Bane of my life again on lap 3. DRS in play. We're waiting for the incident with Lewis. Still holding position on lap 7. How about lap 9? This might be the moment. That was contact. We don't see it from that angle. You saw the bump. I think I might be carrying wing damage at this point. Right, camera angle, please. I don't think there's that option, is there? In flipping heck. So at the crucial moment with Lewis Hamilton behind, Max Verstappen, by the way, has come in from the lead, made his pit stop. From this angle, we can't see anything. I can go into photo mode and we can check it out. But there is a point where there is a bump. I think it's here. There. Right, photo mode. There it is. So that's what causes Lewis to come into the pits, and that's what loses him. Let's bring that up a bit and look at it from... Lucky I didn't get a puncture, really. Looks like everything is sort of in place at this point. So that's your bumping. Now what? So the end plate has snapped off. There's obviously a gap between the two cars there, which doesn't work. But yeah. Right-hand side end plate came off in that contact. And so... In fact, there it is. You okay, hun? Also, mine isn't perfect, by the way, on either side. It looks like I've sustained some sort of damage at some point to my front wing as well. So I was less than perfect. So that's something to think about. Let's have a look at my face. I look a bit cheesed off there. There were a lot of bumps. A lot of bumps. But yes, that I mean, we didn't really get to see it with the angle selected in the highlights. But that was the moment. I was running a little bit slower than Lewis expected. Ran into my rear left and caused an issue with the end plate. His front wing had to come in. Change of strategy, change of tyres, change of front wing. And this is out after the change from medium to hard tyres. I run a little bit deep. Alonso chasing behind, I think. And that's Vettel ahead. Vettel and Mick Schumacher. And nothing spectacular happened after that. Because I was too busy trying to maintain a gap ahead of Alonso. 5, you do actually make you make a good point that Lewis did a very, very good job to recover all the way up to 6th place, considering that incident that threw him off completely. while a non-stop barrage of fireworks kick off in the background. Let's carry on. Panda, hello, by the way. And once again, hello to Shanzi, and I hope you're doing well. So, Charles Leclerc, he did what I tried to do in Zandvoort, and that was swap the tyres around. While those around did medium to hard, he did hard to medium. He made it stick. He made it stick. Managed to create himself quite a pleasant gap once he overtook me. He was some 10, 11 seconds down the road by the end of that race. Fernando Alonso, Lando Norris, medium to hard. Carlos Sainz and Lewis Hamilton ended up doing something very similar. Medium, soft, medium. Lewis was forced into that position. Carlos no doubt has his planned. And yeah, Max Verstappen, who started on those soft tyres, did soft, medium, medium. An aggressive strategy that didn't quite pay off. The only driver it did work for was Carlos Sainz. The medium, soft, medium strategy, don't forget, was the alternate strategy offered to me pre-race. And I thought, nah, no chance. And to be honest, Carlos probably managed to make it stick through luck as much as anything. Being in the right place at the right time. Lewis Hamilton falling back. Max Verstappen being out of sequence, that sort of thing. Lando Norris did very well, by the way. Must have had a banger of a start as well, from 10th on the grid to 4th. Pretty much the best drive out there, I think. I'd love to watch highlights from Lando Norris's position to see how he managed to take advantage of the chaos indeed happening around him. In terms of the incidents, well, Lewis and myself had that coming together on turn 1. It was all a bit of a tight squeeze there. No actual warning, by the way, from race control regarding the incident between Hamilton and myself on, what was it, lap 7? So what I'm saying is it's fine, and it's not my fault, and it's all his. Alex Albon retired on lap 12 with a mechanical failure. Lewis and Ocon came together on lap 20. Max Verstappen made his planned pit stop on lap 7. Lewis Hamilton, there we go, lap 9, had to make a front wing change on lap 9. Max Verstappen, very fast stop, a 2.2. I had a 2.361. Carlos was slightly quicker. Daniel Ricciardo, 2.6. Flipping heck. Lap 14, as planned, stopped the same lap as Alonso, and we were pretty much next to each other for the rest of the race after that. To the standings. And by finishing ahead of Lando Norris in this race, which was the bare minimum I wanted to take away from this, I have now increased that gap. It was 2 points. We are now looking at 9. A little bit of breathing room, but not quite enough. Carlos Sainz had a pretty good outcome today and stays comfortably ahead of me, if not super catching up on Lewis in 3rd place. Charles Leclerc, though, in the plum seat. He increases his gap to Max Verstappen after this race. Max did not have luck on his side. 22 points now split. Our two top contenders. Things could still change, but with only 5 races left, looks like this season could be playing into Charles Leclerc's hand. In the constructors, no changes in position, just solidifying them more than anything. However, too many rough races for Red Bull, like a weekend like this one. They could lose their second place in the constructors' standings to Mercedes AMG. But at the moment, no real movers and shakers in the constructors. And that then is your Singapore Grand Prix. I'll be honest, from everything I was seeing in practice, I was not expecting that qualifying or that race outcome. But that was a very, very difficult, very difficult race. Luckily, I think, as it happens so much later in the season, it doesn't quite have the same messy outcome that we saw with Monaco and Azerbaijan. Let's move on. Four to 3 in the rivalry. 2 points ahead of Lewis with 3 races remaining. Good outcome there for the driver acclaim as well. So back to Team HQ. And wouldn't you know it, another department requires my attention. It's the chassis department now. They have a major update which they're working on at the moment. It failed once. It should pass through second time without issue. But they do require my attendance at a meeting. It's best I show face, I think. They appreciated that I kept the meeting with them. This was the decision that I'd made last time out. The team's morale has just had a massive boost. You're welcome. And so here we are, Monday 3rd October, the week of the Japanese Grand Prix. 3,174 resource points to spend. And an important decision to make. Our turbocharger at 415 laps is now at 80%. It's holding out better than the others. But I think when we make our way to Suzuka in Japan, we're going to have to change that turbocharger and take a penalty. We swapped out that gearbox. That should be absolutely fine. Energy store will see us through the rest of the season. I think it really is just the turbocharger we have to worry about. But to R and D. So, the day after. the Japanese Grand Prix, we should have our rear floor under tray upgraded and improved. Now, look. At the end of the Singapore weekend, the performance chart pretty much has Ferrari, Mercedes and Red Bull all climbing aboard each other in a very dirty, filthy fashion. That is how close their performance is. How would we choose to spend our resource points? A recommended upgrade is roll dampers. Now, the chassis team have very high morale right now. It might be something that we want to consider taking advantage of. We had this issue last time, deciding on heat dispersing wheel rims, madam, or roll dampers. The roll dampers, by the way, offer us greater improvement. And it's minor versus major. Horizontal shocks are absorbed more effectively, resulting in less tyre wear for the roll dampers. And the wheel rims dissipate the heat better, resulting in less thermal deg. We will not be able to use both. So on the aero front, look at that, there's the big improvement you could make on the suspension there. So while before we get there, maximum slot gap on DRS, that's pretty tempting. But tyre wear is definitely something I would like to improve on. In these last few races, this is the kind of stuff that you can see immediate results in. If tyres last longer, you get a few extra laps, you can push on them a little harder where necessary. That could really make the difference. It's a major update. It too will be ready after the Japanese Grand Prix and just before the United States Grand Prix as we go to the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. It's a major update on top of another major update. I'm hoping that won't cause issue. I think it'll be okay. Let's bake that in. 1,062 resource points left to us. It's not going to buy us anything. It's not going to buy us anything. That's fine. But with morale high in that chassis team, and that weight reduction piece of work on the rear floor under tray guaranteed to be completed because it's their second attempt. I think by the time we get to the United States, we could have a very nice chassis indeed. So there we go. Right, 5. If you maximize the tyre wear, can you run mediums over hards? My feeling is, if you were on a circuit which was suited to softer compound tyres, you're still going to need to run those softer compound tyres. what it might mean is you have more play in your pit strategies, because if you're taking less wear out of those tyres, you can be more flexible. So for example, if you're running on softs exactly when you schedule it, or if you're running that medium to hard, or even hard to medium, the other way around, those crucial additional laps that you could get on medium tyres could either help you in the early stages of a race, or if you did, say for example, what Charles Leclerc did in Singapore, you could have extended your gap even further, maybe. But I don't think it would be beneficial purely for the performance difference between the compounds to say that if your chassis improvement was such that it improved tyre duration or durability, that you could shift. You would because you would, the time difference between say soft to medium and medium to hard would be too big that you couldn't compete against it, if that makes sense. But flexibility in when you take those pit stops, or being able to lean on those tyres for longer while other cars can't, will play into your hands. Look at that lovely front wing there, by the way. Totally undamaged. How it should be. Let's advance time, shall we? And make it official. The Japanese Grand Prix is coming up next. Our Pirelli Hot Lap choices is drift or time attack. I think drift could be quite fun in Japan, actually. Not quite Tokyo Drift, because it's in Suzuka. That's a different place. And we will do that this time next week. What a long evening that's been. 5 hours and 15 minutes. It's because I had to redo things so much in the practice sessions. It really dragged things on. Like I said, I was not expecting that qualifying outcome and that race outcome based on the experiences I had in practice. Because even though the times were good, the team's expectations were telling me that they weren't. What do they know? Qualified first, finished second in it. I did all right. I did okay. I think, though, with a component change coming at the next race weekend, we're going to have to really, really hope that I can punch a hole through the air as soon as I hit the track to try and offset those position losses. But that'll be coming up next week, 5:30 p.m. UK time, next Sunday. The Japanese Grand Prix. What will that be? That'll be flipping round 18. Round 18 of 22. We're getting there. We're getting close to the end. We've got some interesting races coming up. What do we got? Japan. America, Brazil. What am I missing? Mexico. Japan, America, Mexico, Brazil. Then Abu Dhabi right at the end. I thought, hang on a minute, I'm missing one. Which one is it? Mexico. We haven't already done Mexico. In Formula E, that's where they started the season last month. So that's why I was thinking, haven't we done Mexico? No, Formula E has done Mexico. I haven't. All right, that's been a long enough evening, hasn't it? Let's switch that off. Switch that off and say once again, 5:30 p.m. UK time next Sunday, the Japanese Grand Prix, the wonderful classic Suzuka circuit. Got some tricky corners, but it should be a fun one. Do join me next week for the Japanese Grand Prix.